What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today, coming at you with the Workhorse Irons voltmeter box. We're going to talk a little bit about this, give a little bit of a review, why I feel like this is such a good product, and how this can be useful to some of you guys using power supplies like this. Like the CRITCAL Atom that only has a color wheel to let you know what voltage you're on. It does not have a digital LCD meter for you where it shows you your voltage and readouts like that. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, guys. This little jigamadoo right here is called the Workhorse Irons voltmeter box. So if you look at it right here, it says voltage, it says DC, and then V, right? So doesn't look like a whole lot, but this is a nice little tool to have, like I said, if you're using power supplies like this that don't give you a readout, right? So basically, when you're using this power supply, it has a color. So say blue, you're anywhere from 3 to 4 volts, and then you go to green, and that's like 5 to 7, I want to say, and then it goes orange or pink. So you're using these colors, and you have an idea of where you're at. But for me, it was just hard to know, and I didn't always remember what color was what, and I was just going off of feel, and it kind of sucked. So I was buying machine parts on workhorseirons.com, which I totally recommend to anybody, especially coil machine users out there. They have everything you could imagine. And I saw this, and it said Workhorse Irons voltage meter box. And I'm like, don't tell me that this is what I think it is. So I clicked on it, and I was reading, and it's this little box that plugs into your power supply, like so. Let's see here. Foot pedal is right here. So you plug it into your power supply, and the clip cord, where your clip cord would go. And on the other end here, there's another plug-in, and that's for your clip cord. So you would plug in your clip cord into the voltage meter box. So now, essentially what you have is the same exact thing you had with just the power supply and the clip cord, except for this box right here is taking the voltage and measuring it and giving you a readout. So where you only had the colors, and I'm going to show you this here in a second, exactly how it works. And then I'm going to tell you why this is useful even if you have a power supply that's giving you a readout. So you had no readout, and now when you're tattooing, it's measuring the voltage that your machine is pulling, and it's giving you the readout. So it's telling you what voltage you're using. But not only is it telling you what voltage you're using, it's measuring it for you. So say you have a power supply that maybe isn't working correctly, and this happens where you have a power supply that may tell you it's reading 7 volts, and it might be a little less than, because it's not achieving the power that it's trying to pull from the wall. And that's where this comes in handy, because if you're using this voltmeter box and your power supply says 7 volts and this says 6, it means you're not getting the power you should to push your machine, and you're actually running a little short. So in that scenario, you would just crank it up. But that's why I like this little thing right here, because for anybody using any of these CRITCAL power supplies that don't give you a readout, it really helps you out, because you can just turn it on, start tattooing, and you have your readout right here. So we're going to plug that in for you and let you check that out and see what it looks like. Let's get this all plugged in real quick. And like I said, it for those of you who do have a power supply with the readout, it's still a great option, because you can plug this into your power supply and make sure that your power supply is running correctly, because it's going to be showing you the readout, and you're going to be seeing if your power supply is actually putting out the voltage and power that it should be. Let's get this plugged in right quick, so we can show you guys. All right. Oop, don't want to knock over our light here. Come on. Alright. So as you can see here, we have the color wheel I was telling you about. See, green is like 5 to 7. This blue, I want to say, is like 3 to 4. And so on. You know, you go up here and you're looking at 8 or 9, 10, 11. And it's just a color wheel. So it works, but you're not getting a very accurate readout. So let's set this right here real quick. Alright. And then now, let's give it some power. Alright. So I don't know if you can see that right there. But we're running at 4.24 volts. 4.26, right? Which is accurate to the blue light that we have right here. Like I said, the blue is 3 to 4. So let's crank it up to about right there. And I'm going to guess that that is 6.2. Let's try this out. Give it a... 5.7. So I was real close. But it just gives you that real accurate readout that you wouldn't have, say, if you didn't have the voltmeter box plugged in. So it's just one of those little devices that I've never heard of before. See, without it, you're just kind of blind. You're going off of sound, you know? Oh, my machine's not running. Now it's running. But you really don't know what voltage you're on, right? So using this has really helped me with my critical power supply, because that was the only really downfall that I had with that budget power supply, because the critical atom power supply, this little power supply here is, I want to say it was $215 US, something in that ballpark, maybe 190 even. But it's a reputable power supply that will put the power to your machine that you need. So that's what drew me to it, and I liked the power supply, but I didn't like the fact that I didn't have a readout. And I actually did not know I wasn't going to have a readout until I got the machine. So here I am all excited about my little power supply. And I plugged it up and I'm like, where's my readout? And that's when I came to find out that I didn't have one. So when I saw this little thing cruising on Workhorse irons, and this little gadget right here is only 50 bucks. So it's $50 just to have laying around, and you never know when you might need it. I highly recommend it, because even if you have a power supply, like I said, that gives you a readout, maybe your screen's not working correctly, or maybe it's not drawing what it should be out of the wall. And just to make sure everything's on the up and up, you can just grab this little thing right here, plug it in, plug in your clip cord, start running your machine, and make sure the readouts match. And if the readouts match, everything's on the up and up. It's just a useful little tool here that I don't think a lot of people know about. So I figured I would make this video and give you guys this information. So again, you can find this on workhorseirons.com. They're machine builders, a bunch of guys that build coil machines. This machine came from that website. This is a Safari mini fastback liner. It's a little beast of a little mini machine. It just lines effortlessly. But yeah, man, so you go on their website, you can find this little voltmeter box, and I'm sure other companies make them. This is the first one I've ever seen, and it works really well. I have tried it with other power supplies that I have that have readouts, and it matched with every single readout that I tried on those power supplies. So it does work, and it actually works really accurately. So I'm not sure what the little V stands for. It says voltage up here, so that could just mean voltage. I don't know what it stands for, but so you have your voltage and your DC, and that's what it gives you, man. It just reads out your voltage really well. So yeah, highly recommend it, guys. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment section below if you have any questions about the device, and have a blessed day. Peace.